Two quick questions.
Yes.
So you've been described as somebody who pushes boundaries and you don't follow trends and you follow your own mind. Accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
And do you think you've gotten bolder as you've gotten older?
Yes. It's how I've lived.
Thank you so much.
And I will live for as long as I live.
What I took away from my mom basically was an openness and I guess self-confidence, whether it was an old master painting or sculpture or cutting-edge furniture. If she saw something and she responded to it, there was no question about whether it would appreciate, whether it this or that, and that is fundamentally a fearless approach.
I think the first thing to understand about Hester's collection is that it was never static, and she really was a fearless person. When she found something new that she liked and she didn't have enough room on the wall, out it went.
It was always about this relationship, very much living relationship. Her opinions, her feelings, her knowledge, she wanted it to always be evolving, to always be growing, to always be changing.
She was the most indomitably curious person that I think I've ever known, and I think this was very clear in the collection that she formed. There was nothing normative about it, nothing predictable about it. There was always an exploration.
She was super determined. She was always game to make new decisions and come up with new ideas. And by the end of her life, I mean, she was no less fearless. She was just the same.
She was also fearless about people. She wanted to meet somebody, she met them. She knew every curator, every museum director, everybody internationally who had anything to do with art at the highest level. She knew them.
Fear was just not even something that was on the table for her. My mom did it her way, that is for sure.
Just off Fifth Avenue stands the spanking new home of a nationally important institution, the New York Museum of Modern Art.
MoMA was a very exciting place to be, and that's where I really got caught and stuck on art.
My mother was born in 1928 in the Bronx. Her father actually had been reasonably wealthy and lost all his money in the Depression. She was always really smart, got into Hunter High School and then Hunter College. It was the beginning of World War II, and the government had requisitioned the building that Hunter High School was in, so all of high school had to be over by 1 p.m. She started wandering around Manhattan looking for interesting things to do, and she found art museums.
There was very little to read about modern art at that time, and I would spend a very long time standing in one gallery at MoMA trying to figure it out myself, and that actually was the most wonderful thing that could have happened to me at that age.
She met my father on a street corner at a bus stop in the Bronx and introduced my dad to going to museums, and they started just going to all the galleries, being at all the openings, going to hang out at the Cedar Bar, which is what you did at the time, and being, you know, young people hanging out in the art world despite the fact that they had to pay the rent.
There were lots of dealers in New York at that time who would sell you pictures for $25 a month to be paid out over an indefinite period. And we owed $25 a month all over town.
Later in life, I'd asked my mom about, like, you know, how did you and Dad end up in this art world around all these incredible abstract expressionist painters? And she'd sort of laugh and she'd just be like, look, we would keep showing up. So if you'd keep showing up, you would get invited.
And they just immersed themselves in art. Eventually became their full-time careers. And she also, from the beginning, loved the idea of juxtaposing various things that you quote-unquote weren't supposed to do. Her first signature style became very cutting-edge modern paintings and very classical English furniture. You walked in and say, what's going on here? But somehow it worked. My dad passed away in 1982. He was quite young. He was in his mid-50s, and this is all very sudden and shocking.
Hester married my father in around 1983 and decided that she wanted to start collecting again. At that point, she had this phenomenal collection of modern art, and the prices had really gone up exponentially, so she couldn't really afford what was currently on her walls, and she was certainly never one to go for second best.
And so I lived with this situation of being the guardian of this fantastic collection, but kind of boring for me because there was no action. And that did not please me because I really am a collector.
So she decided that she wanted to form a new collection. And the question was, what was it going to be? She considered antiquities, she considered a few other fields, and she settled on old masters.
All of a sudden, my mom starts putting old master paintings on the wall. We were pretty shocked.
We were kind of against all this old master stuff happening. But you know, it was Mom. She was going to do what she was going to do. And there came a very dark day when all the modern paintings were sent to the dining room, and the rest of the house was old master paintings. And we knew that that was the beginning of the end.
And I think she was a little unhappy with that because to her that seemed a little boring. And she called me up and she said, I suddenly realized my modern art doesn't mean the same thing to me anymore. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell all of it.
Once the swap out was complete, she had a house full of 18th and 19th century English furniture, and she started to think that this was looking much too normal. As she would put it, much too tasteful. That's always the enemy.
This is so Hester Diamond. I didn't see her for a couple of months, and I go over, everything is gone.
It was all very dramatic and very forcefully decided, and people don't do that very much, particularly not in their 80s, which is when she did it.
My stepbrother, Michael, introduced her to Jim Walrod, who was a designer, a decorator, and they put together this new wild environment with psychedelic colors and all different kinds of textures and fabrics and shapes and sizes.
And the only rule of thumb was she wanted everything in the apartment to have been created in the new century. It was just like a visionary thing to do. She just had an idea and, you know, she went with it.
You walked in, it was a jolt. And I don't think anybody walking into that apartment thought, oh, that's nice. They thought, wow, what's going on here? And I think that's Hester.
She always said, you can't get depressed in this living room. At that point in her life, she's had some hardship, and she just wanted to be in this completely new, happy, uplifting environment.
She always instilled in her kids this general idea that learning something new is much more fun than doing something you know how to do well over and over again. Once you've mastered something, it's time to move on.
I had amazing experiences with her transitions. At the time I met her, she owned the fantastic Brancusi Bird in Space. One day I go to visit and it's not there. And I noticed around the same time, I think, Marble by Pietro and Gian Lorenzo Bernini of Autumn, not in its place, but let's say that was the movement from a genius and giant of the 20th century to one of the greatest sculptors of all time, Bernini.
The picture that I love the best is the Peter Kukke van Elst, an Antwerp artist from the early 16th century. He was so inspired at this age. He was such a beautiful painter. And it's in such remarkable condition that you just see everything that the artist put on it in 1525.
It's a very rare thing to have a complete triptych like this, and when she bought it, it was attributed to the master of 1518, who is a much less important artist than Peter Kukke van Elst. About 2 years later, there was an exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum on this artist, and in fact, when you walked into the exhibition, it was one of the first paintings that you saw.
Her relationship with the Met was one that was a personal one among each of us. Hester was a figure all of us thought would be the ideal mother to have. Each year, at the end of the year, there was always a gift to the department to use for whichever of the activities you think would be most useful for.
The thing that was as great as her love of art was her love of people and the way she combined it all. As friends go, for me, they don't come any better.
People loved her, and she really reached out into the art world. It's an exciting sale to have, and I think people are very much looking forward to seeing it.
I've never been interested in having a static collection. We just did it in the most irrational way. We loved something, we bought it. And that's what I've done all my life.
Hello, I'm George Wachter. I'm a chairman at Sotheby's, and I'm also one of the worldwide heads of the Old Master Painting Department. I'm joined today by David Diamond, who is the eldest son of Hester Diamond, whose collection you are going to be seeing today on a tour. For those of you who aren't going to be able to make it here, we hope this will give you some sort of a sense of what Hester collected and what her interests were. David, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm always delighted to talk about my mom and her collection. So let's get started. Let's take a look around.
The first pieces I'd like to talk about are those over my shoulder. It's a pair of paintings by Dosso Dossi, who was the most important artist in Ferrara in Italy in the early 16th century. And Alfonso d'Este, who was the ruler of Ferrara, he commissioned quite a number of artists, including Titian and Dosso. And what he asked Dosso to do is to paint 10 paintings which will become a frieze above everything that happened below it. So these are 2 of those 10 paintings that Dosso created. Others are in museums all across the world. This one is a scene in Pergamea, which is in Crete. Aeneas, who has left Troy, was kicked out and had to run. And he landed with his people in Pergamea. Sadly, as you can see, there was a plague that hit them, and so they had to move on. What I love about this picture is the incredible color and the incredible freedom of technique, design, the paint quality that you see everywhere. Just extreme beauty and extremely important to the history of Italian painting. The other painting, after they leave Pergamea, they go back into the sea and they land in another place in Sicily. And Aeneas, who wants to celebrate the anniversary of his father's death, it's 1 year since he died, creates something called the Sicilian Games, which are games like the Olympic Games, let's say. And this shows you all of those games. And Hera, the goddess who's in the sky, doesn't want them to leave this place, so she tells the women to burn the ships so they can't go anywhere. And you see that happening here. David, maybe you could tell us a little bit about what Hester felt about these.
Well, my mom, when these became available, she had always known of she'd been, I think, been to the room that's still there of alabaster, but none of the Dosso Dossis are there, just a few of them. And that had always been something. When she heard that 2 of them were available, she was immediately very, very interested and was delighted to be able to buy them. She brought them in for a while. They were in a very long hallway, but it was decided that that was not giving them quite enough show, so they were moved into the dining room, which was a really nice thing to do because you were there for quite some time having dinner, and you got a chance to look at them and understand just how deep and interesting and how much is going on in them. As we're walking through the exhibition, I just wanted to pause here for a second at this sculpture because it was a particular favorite of mine and a particular favorite of my mother's. And it is this crazy alabaster piece called The Fall of the Rebel Angels, which is, you can see the devils being chewed up here by Satan or somebody of that ilk. It is exactly the kind of wild, in-your-face thing that, it doesn't belong to a school of anything. It's not particularly, important like the Dosso Dossis are, but it is just such an incredibly dramatic work, and frankly so comfortable with her, not only her Renaissance aesthetic, but with her modernist aesthetic as well. It might as well be a German Expressionist painting as an early alabaster sculpture.
The next piece I'd like to show you is my favorite piece in the sale. It's a triptych, again behind me here, by Peter Cucke van Elst, one of the more important artists of the, again, early 16th century, this time in Antwerp, in Belgium. When this picture was first bought by Hester, it was considered to be by another artist called the Master of 1518. But around the time she bought this painting, a machine came into use called infrared reflectography, which is a camera that, believe it or not, takes you through the paint surface and shows you on a TV screen what the picture looks like underneath the paint surface. And so you can see the drawing underneath the paint surface, and by this way, and doing the same thing for other documented paintings by Peter Cucke van Elst, it became totally apparent that this was an early work by that master. And then later it was included in a big exhibition, more on tapestries of Peter Cucke's, but also paintings, and this was in the first room of the Peter Cucke exhibition, which was at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. What I love about this picture is you have the feeling that every touch that Peter Cucke put on this panel is still there. If you can look at the black figure here, who's one of the kings who's adoring the Christ child, and you look at all the little details in every part of his outfit, you can just see the incredible detail, and yet also the way that it's completely preserved since the day it was painted. And it's just an explosion of color and of beautiful quality and of light, and it's just very, very special and something that I think I would love to have at home. Tell us about Hester's.
Well, the story that you told is very illustrative of exactly how Mom collected. She did not buy it because it was a Peter Cucke van Elst, because when she bought it, it wasn't. She bought it because she looked at it and said there was something there, that it's something fabulous, the paint, the painting, the composition, and she just thought it was fabulous, and she didn't care, frankly, whether it was the Master of 1518 or whoever it might have turned out to be. She was delighted when the work was done to discover it was a Peter Cucke van Elst, but she loved it because of what it was, and then did the work to figure out the attribution and all of that stuff.
I'm now moving to what I consider to be the star of the collection, this unbelievably important and beautiful marble sculpture by the Berninis, both Father Pietro and son Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Gian Lorenzo Bernini is as rare a sculptor as you can find, and in my years at Sotheby's, there was one that was sold that's now at the Kimball Art Museum, but apart from that, I can't think of another. And so to have a full-size, fully realized Bernini sculpture like this, where we know where it was commissioned for in Rome from the Strozzi family, is just something beyond what you expect, and it is very exciting. Bernini, as I'm sure most of you know, was the most important 17th century sculptor in Rome, and certainly one of the top 3 sculptors ever in Italy. He transformed Rome, and you can't help but see his work wherever you go in Rome. This is an early work by Gian Lorenzo when he's in his father Pietro's studio, and you can go to the Borghese Gallery in Rome today and see his masterpieces, also done at a very young age, but extremely fantastic works by Bernini. And this too, Autumn, with the movement, with the light that plays across him, with the depth of carving of the marble on the fruit above, is just an extraordinary object for Hester to have had the opportunity to buy. And maybe you, David, could tell us a little bit about that, because even I don't know how she got it.
Well, I'm not sure exactly the story of how she got it, but I know why she got it. My parents spent a good 20 years chasing down a very specific sculpture that you mentioned earlier, the Brancusi bird in space. And it was very much the centerpiece of my mom and dad's, and then my mom's collection of modern painting and sculpture. And then as there were fewer and fewer modern things and more older things, the big question came up, what do you do next? And eventually, she sold the Brancusi. It's now at the collection at the Seattle Art Museum. But needed the thing that in her new collection was the totem, as the Brancusi was to the earlier collection. And finding the Bernini and being able to buy it fit exactly that spot. The funny part was that when she bought it, she put it in exactly the spot where the Brancusi had been for 20 years, and it looked terrible there. So she ended up moving it elsewhere in the apartment, but it was always meant to be the replacement for the Brancusi. We thought it would be fun to conclude this tour not with another piece of sculpture or painting, but to look at some of the other pieces of my mom's collection. This is a bunch of minerals from her collection. What actually is in the sale is her whole collection of minerals, which is over 100 different minerals. This is a small sample of it. At a certain point, probably about 15 years ago, she decided minerals were really cool and started buying them. And once she became a collector of anything, she became a devoted collector of whatever that was. She got totally interested in minerals and ended up with a very large number of them. It's really, if you want to understand my mother and understand her collections, you have to understand that she's a maniacal collector, that she had to know everything about Renaissance painting and sculpture. She also needed to know everything about minerals because she wanted to have great minerals. There are a variety of other things in her collections as well, and I'll pass it over to George to talk about all the various things that are in this sale.
Apart from the minerals, there's also a group of 21st century furniture, because Hester decided to completely renovate her apartment at one point about 15 years ago, and completely sold every piece of furniture that she had and bought only new, colorful, very bright, crazy 21st century furniture. She also has art books, which, like with the minerals that David was talking about, she became obsessed with art books. And for a person like her to have as many art books as she did is quite extraordinary, and we're going to be selling those. And then finally, her son, David's brother, is called Mike D., who's one of the Beastie Boys, and every time he won an award, he gave it to her. And so, on behalf of Good Eats Charity, in that same online sale, you'll find Beastie Boys memorabilia. So that is pretty much what we're doing here at Sotheby's over the next week, trying to help the Diamonds sell their mom's art, and we're trying to also capture a bit of who she was.
sculptures are imbued with life. His figures don't pose, they're animated. Whether you're talking about this figure of Autumn, which is expressive and voracious, or the emotional intensity of his Ecstasy of St. Teresa for Santa Maria della Vittoria. He was able to manipulate the marble in ways that no other sculptor was able to do. Gian Lorenzo Bernini was the most important sculptor after Michelangelo. You cannot walk down the street in Rome for more than a few minutes without seeing something that he designed or something that he actually carved. Bernini started in his father's workshop at a very young age. Pietro nurtured his great talent, which was recognized very early in his life, and in fact, he became a favorite of the popes. There are masterpieces by Bernini all over Rome. I think the most enduring favorite is his Apollo and Daphne monumental marble, which was made for the Borghese family and is still in the Borghese Gallery in Rome. There, with the figure of David and the rape of Proserpina, it's an incredible grouping of marbles that were made over the course of only 5 years. Gian Lorenzo Bernini was the father of the Baroque, and above all, it was an emotional style, and that was what was so revolutionary about his work. He worked in the tradition of the Renaissance sculptors, of course, like Michelangelo, but he went much further and was not interested in representing a figure in its ideal form. He was interested in representing real emotion, fright, or love, or ecstasy. He knew how to manipulate the marble so that you could see the realistic creases in the flesh and movement of the body. This sculpture is a personification of autumn in all of its bounty, its abundance. It was carved in 1616 in Gian Lorenzo's father's studio, where he collaborated with him. This is a moment when he is searching for his creative voice, and I think he's found it. This is a moment when his star is in ascendance, when he becomes the greatest sculptor in Italy and, in fact, in Europe. What I love about this sculpture is that it tells the story of Bernini's inventiveness and his love of emotion and movement. You see this figure straining. You see his straining muscles. You see the tendons in his neck as he curves it and looks over his shoulder. He is striding forward and upward. His back is arched. The muscles are tensed. There's torsion in his torso and other parts of his body. And the motion is one forward trajectory. This sculpture explodes with vitality. Having a sculpture by Gian Lorenzo Bernini at auction is incredibly rare. But there are only a handful of sculptures by Gian Lorenzo Bernini and his father outside of Italy, and certainly no others that I know of that are secular. Autumn was in the collection of Hester Diamond. What was spectacular about Hester's collection was the juxtaposition of contemporary objects with Renaissance, Gothic, Baroque objects, and they all seemed to live together so perfectly. To me, this sculpture represents her entire collection so beautifully. It's a tour de force in marble carving.
Yeah, of course I know her.
Everyone thinks she's so interesting.
She just has too much style. She just has too much everything.
Mai troppo.
She's a pleasure. Mai troppo.
She's a rhythm.
She's too funny.
Mai troppo.
Two quick questions.
Yes.
So you've been described as somebody who pushes boundaries and you don't follow trends and you follow your own mind. Accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
Do you think you've gotten bolder as you've gotten older?
Yes. It's how I've lived.
Thank you so
And I
much.
will live for as long as I live.
What I took away from my mom basically was an openness and I guess self-confidence, whether it was an old master painting or sculpture or cutting-edge furniture. If she saw something and she responded to it, there was no question about whether it would appreciate, whether it this or that, and that is fundamentally a fearless approach.
I think the first thing to understand about Hester's collection is that it was never static, and she really was a fearless person. When she found something new that she liked and she didn't have enough room on the wall, out it went.
It was always about this relationship, very much living relationship. Her opinions, her feelings, her knowledge, she wanted it to always be evolving, to always be growing, to always be changing.
She was the most indomitably curious person that I think I've ever known, and I think this was very clear in the collection that she formed. There was nothing normative about it, nothing predictable about it. There was always an exploration.
She was super determined. She was always game to make new decisions and come up with new ideas. And
Good morning, afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience before we start this afternoon's auction. My name is Oliver Barker, your auctioneer at Sotheby's, where the dust has barely settled on the excitement of yesterday's auction of Sandro Botticelli's Renaissance masterpiece, selling for $92.2 million, making history as the most valuable old master painting ever sold at Sotheby's. I wish you all a very warm welcome again today as we turn our attention to the part one of the sale of the collection of the incomparable Hester Diamond, the prominent New York collector, interior designer, philanthropist, and a dear friend and colleague to many of us bidding and watching here today. I am taken to the rostrum once again from London, fielding bids in real time via the screens in front of me from colleagues in other rooms here in London, where we also have a dedicated phone bank for clients bidding from Asia, as well as from New York and from our online bidders around the world. Hester Diamond truly embodied the meaning of being a visionary. She was fearless, innovative, inquisitive, and eclectic, acquiring masterpieces by art historical titans across different centuries and categories, while also recognizing the beauty in the hands of anonymous masters. Each piece in her collection personifies her distinct vision and the freedom that came with being true to herself. This thread runs through both today's sale, which will be led by Pietro and Gian Lorenzo Bernini's groundbreaking Autumn, and the fantastically eclectic cross-category online sale, which starts closing for bidding at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Whether you are participating or just watching, we're glad you are able to join us from the comfort and safety of your own homes. Let us now turn to the auctioneer's announcements. For those of you intending to bid, please note the following notices. As this is a New York auction, it will be conducted in US dollars. Everything is being sold according to the conditions of sale. I draw attention to Article 1, which states that everything is sold under the terms of guarantee and on an as-is basis. Further, Article 10 states that you are responsible for state and local taxes where applicable, unless you're exempt from these by law. A buyer's premium rate is added to the hammer price of each lot offered today, and applicable sales tax is paid on the aggregate of those two figures. Please note the buyer's premium rate is as follows: 25% of the successful bid price, up to and including $400,000, 20% on the amount above $4 million, $400,000 up to and including $4 million, and 13.9% on any amount in excess of $4 million. Please also note that as of the 1st of August 2020, Sotheby's has implemented an overhead premium payable by all auction buyers in our global sales rooms. The fee will be charged at 1% of the hammer price plus any applicable local taxes. This fee and our buyer's premium rates exclude local taxes and any applicable artist resale right. As your auctioneer, I may open the bidding on any lot by placing a bid on behalf of the seller. I may further bid on behalf of the seller up to the amount of the reserve by placing responsive or consecutive bids for a lot. Please note that lot numbers 116 and 146 carry a guarantee and irrevocable bid. And we start today with lot number 101, today's opening lot, the exquisite image of the Virgin and Child, attributed to the School of Bruges, and originally from an illuminated manuscript, likely a book of hours, that was produced in the Flemish city in the first half of the 16th century. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $24,000. At $24,000, $26,000 now, $26,000, $28,000 here, $28,000, $30,000 with Alex Bell. Starts us off at $30,000 in New York, at $30,000 with Alex Bell. Thank you. At $30,000, Alex, it's your bid, and I can sell at $30,000. Still with you now at $30,000. With Alex Bell in New York at $30,000. At $32,000 is bid against you online, Alex. It's $32,000, not yours anymore. At $32,000. $35,000. Thank you, Alex. At $35,000 and against you online. It's still with Alex Bell at Sotheby's in York Avenue in New York at $35,000, and the next bid's going to be $38,000. Still yours at $38,000 now. And against you, Alex, at $38,000. Give me $40,000. At $38,000, $40,000 now. It's back with Alex Bell again. Live bidding in New York at $40,000. Give me two online, please. At $40,000. There it is. It's your bid, Alex, at $40,000. And $42,000 is bid, Alex, against you now at $42,000. At $42,000. Want to go on at $42,000? No, you're out at $42,000. It's still online. Selling it here to the online bidder for $42,000 against you, Alex. Last chance to the online bidder, paddle number 115 for the first lot of this afternoon's sale. Last chance and selling for $42,000. Thank you online. That's $42,000. It's paddle number 115. And lot number 102 is the remarkably well-preserved polychrome oak relief depicting the Morning Marys and St. John, dating to the first half of the 16th century here. This wonderful work marked with Antwerp hand on the reverse. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $24,000. $24,000, $26,000, now $26,000, $28,000, at $28,000 anymore, at $28,000. $30,000. It's back with Alex Bell again at $30,000, kicking us off at $30,000 against you, George Gordon, at $30,000. And still with Alex Bell on the last row there in New York, $32,000. I took it with Margie first. Up front and against you, George, give me 35. It's at $32,000, $35,000. It's Alex Bell now. A flurry of bids from New York at $35,000. At $35,000, $38,000. Thank you, Margie. It's your bid now, clearing the others at $38,000. $40,000 is back with Alex Bell now at $40,000. Give me two, Margie. At $40,000, still with Alex Bell now at $40,000. $42,000 is bid. Thank you, Margie. At $42,000. At $42,000. $43,000 I'll take, Alex, from you. At $43,000. Margie, can you give me 44 at 43,000? Still with Alex Bell?
45,000.
45, that's more like it. Thank you, George Gordon. And can we say 48, please? 48,000, thank you, Alex.
48.
At 48,000, give me 50, George, please, at $48,000. At 48,000, still with Alex Bell there on the back row at $48,000.
Bidding.
50,000 is bid. Thank you, George, at 50,000. I have you here on the screens in front of
52.
me. 52,000 is bid again. Battle of the Englishmen in New York at 52,000. Thank you, Alex. It's your bid now. Clearing George at 52,000. Give me 5, please, George. At $52,000. At 52,000. Give me 5, please.
Bidding.
55,000. Thank you, George, at 55,000 now. Back with George Gordon on the front row at $55,000 now. Thank you. Are you out at 55,000? Margie, are we going to go on at 55,000? 56,000, I'll take.
56.
Thank you, Alex, at $56,000. George, can you give me one more? $56,000 is with Alex Bell. It's on the back row here at $56,000. I'm looking for another from you, George, please, at $56,000. Say one more.
57.
57,000. Thank you. I thought it might be there. At $57,000. Thank you so much, George. At 57,000. At $57,000. Any more? $57,000. At 57,000.
58.
58,000. Thank you, Alex. At 58,000.
Yeah.
$58,000 now.
Bidding.
59,000. To make it a round number, please, Alex, at 59,000. No? 60 will sound so much better. 59,000. Say one more. At 59,000. You sure? At 59,000, still with George Gordon. It's against you in London. It's against you, Asia, Alex. Fair warning now. And selling, last chance, at $59,000. So, thank you very much. Let's see your panel number. 26. Thank you, George. At $26,000. Thank you so much. And lot number 103 is the Peter Cooker. Here it is, the wonderfully impressive triptych. Remarkable size and also excellent conditions, presented with its original frame. The work was the centerpiece of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's exhibition Grand Design, Peter Cooker and Renaissance Tapestry in 2014. This wonderful, imperious object, fabulous, fabulous work. And I want to start the bidding here at $1,800,000, at $1,800,000, $1,900,000, now $1,900,000, $2 million, at $2 million now, $2 million, $2,100,000, at 2-1, $2,100,000 now, at $2,100,000, at $2,100,000, any more, $2,100,000, at $2.1 million, at $2,100,000, any more, 2-1. At $2,100,000. It's against you there at $2,100,000. $2,200,000.
Bidding.
It's with Chris at $2,200,000. Ahead of you online at $2,200,000. Give me the bid online again here at $2,200,000. It's Chris at Bossel's bidder at $2,200,000 and it's ahead of you online. $2,300,000 is bid online now, Chris. Say 4. Here it is online against you here. $2,400,000. Thank you, sir. $2,400,000. It's back with Chris Apostle again at $2,400,000. And looking for 5 online here. $2,400,000. Say 5, please.
Happy.
At $2,400,000. Still with Chris Apostle. At $2,400,000. Say one more. At $2,400,000. There it is. With Chris at 2.4. At $2,400,000. Any more? 2.4. Alex, not yours. At $2,400,000. $2,500,000, Chris. It's back online again at $2,500,000.
X, sir.
$2,600,000. Thank you. At 2.6. At $2,600,000. It's with Chris Apostle this time in New York, bidding there in person at $2,600,000. And looking for 7 from you online, please. At $2,600,000. At 2.6. Still with Chris at $2,600,000. Against you here at $2,600,000. Give me 7. At $2,600,000. It's Chris's bid. I'm going to sell $2,600,000. This new world record price for the artist here at $2,600,000. Last chance. The hammer's coming up. Fair warning to you online. It's Chris's bid at $2,600,000. Fair warning at $2,600,000. Chris, it's yours. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. It's paddle number 32. Thank you. And lot number 104 is the Johanna Schofschel, or St. John's Head on a platter. South Netherlandish, dating to circa 1480 here, this fantastic thing. The roundel. And I want to start the bidding here at $12,000. At $12,000, $14,000, $16,000 now at $16,000. At $16,000 against you, Margie, at $16,000. At $16,000. Any more? At $16,000. At $16,000. $18,000 is bids. Margie's bidder at $18,000. It's your bid, Margie, at $18,000. Thank you, at $18,000. At $18,000. Here it is, at $18,000. And selling at $18,000. It's Margie's bidder and against you, George, at $18,000. Give me a bid at $18,000.
Bidding.
20,000. Thank you, George. At 20,000. It's your bid, sir, now. At 20,000. Margie against you now. $22,000. Thank you very much. At 22,000. Next bid's 4, George. At $22,000. Say 4, please. At $22,000. At $22,000. Any more? 22,000. At 24,000. Thank you so much. At 24,000. At $24,000.
Bidding.
26,000. Thank you, Margie. At $26,000. At $26,000. Still with Margie against you, George. All on the front row here in New York. $28,000 is bid now. Margie against you here at $28,000. Any more? At 28.
Bidding.
30,000. Thank you. At 30,000 against you this time, George, at 30. Say 2.
Bidding.
32,000. At $32,000.
34.
34,000. At $34,000. At $34,000. Thank you, Margie. It's your bid at $34,000. George, $36,000. 36,000.
8, sir.
38,000. At $38,000. 40,000. At 40 again. Still with George this time.
41, please.
41,000. Thank you, Margie, at 41,000. George, give me 2.
42,000.
42,000. There it is, at $42,000. Margie, it's against you this time at $42,000. Still with George Gordon and selling this time, I think, at $42,000. You out at $42,000. Fair warning. Thank you, Margie. It's your bid, George, at $42,000. Thank you. 42.
42.
And that's panel number 26. Thank you so much. Which leads to number 105, the exceptional late 15th century reed table, formerly owned by the Rhode Island School of Design, the Museum of Art. This lamentation is a museum piece in the truest sense, only matched in caliber by a few works now in major international collections. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $200,000. At $200,000, $220,000, $240,000 now, $240,000. At $240,000, $260,000. At $260,000, $280,000 with Alex Cader in the London studio here with Alex there at $280,000. Thank you, Alex. It's your bid, and I can sell at $280,000. At $280,000. So with Alex Cader here at $280,000. Any more at $280,000. Your bid, Alex, at $280,000. $300,000. Now it's against you here in New York with George Gordon at $300,000. Give me 20. At $300,000, sir. At $300,000. Still with George at $300,000. I'm looking for 20 from you, please, Alex, at $300,000. Still with George here in the New York studio at $300,000. At Sotheby's in York Avenue. In Manhattan at $300,000. Thank you, George. There it is. And against you, Alex. You bidding? At $300,000. We're selling it here. Any more at $300,000. Elizabeth will be coming in at $300,000. George is still. I'm going to sell. Fair warning now. Last chance. At $300,000. Thank you very much indeed, George. Number 26. Thank you so much. And lot number 106, we have the beautiful early temper and gold ground panel by the 14th century Italian painter Roberto da Risiccio, depicting crucifixion with Virgin and St. John the Evangelist. And I want to start the bidding here at $240,000, at $240,000, $260,000, $280,000 now, $280,000, at $280,000. At $280,000. Any more? $280,000. $300,000. It's ahead of you, Chris, online. I took the online bidder there. Panel number 111 at $300,000. I'll take 20 from you, sir. $320,000. Thank you, Chris, at $320,000. It's back in the New York sales from here at $320,000 against you online. Next bid's going to be $350,000. Say one more at $320,000. Still with Chris Apostle here at $320,000. In New York at 320. Thank you. At 320,000. Say one more, please. At $320,000. There it is at $320,000. Still with Chris. At 320,000. Thank you, Chris. It's your bid. Breaking the record for the artist at $320,000. Still with Chris. Are you going on online? At 320,000. I'm going to sell it this time. Fair warning. Last chance at $320,000. Chris, it's yours. Thank you so much. 320. Can I have your paddle, sir? 36. Thank you very much indeed. We are moving on now to the quintessential work of the Florentine Renaissance, Girolamo da Robbia's Madonna and Child, circa 1510. This beautiful object here, and I'm going to start the bidding here at $70,000, $70,000, $75,000, no, $75,000, $80,000, at $80,000, at $80,000 now, at $80,000, any more, at $80,000, at $80,000. Against you, Eduardo, at $80,000, any more, at $80,000, $85,000 online. With paddle number 63 and selling here at $85,000, your bid online at $85,000. For $85,000, there it is with the paddle number 63 for $85,000 against Yamagi and the London studio here. I'm going to sell it, fair warning, at $85,000, last chance, for $85,000. Thank you online, it's number 63 for $85,000. And lot number 108, of course, is the 15th century Pietra d'Istria, carving attributed to the master of San Travaso, showing on the screens for you here. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $48,000, $48,000, $50,000, $52,000 out, $52,000, $55,000, at $55,000, at $55,000 now. Any more? At $55,000, at $55,000, at $55,000. Against your bet, $55,000, at $55,000, at $55,000. Fair warning now. Last chance. This time, $55,000. Not sold at $55,000. And lot number 109 is the vibrant and detailed early work by the Ferrarese artist Giovanni Battista Benvenuti, known as Ortolano, showing here the wonderful scene, all on panel. Please note that the expanded provenance cataloguing literature for the lot is available in the online catalogue. And I'm starting the bidding here at $110,000, at $110,000, $120,000, now $120,000, $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, any more, $130,000, at $130,000, not yours, at $130,000, at $130,000, against you, Eduardo, $130,000, give me one more, $130,000, at $130,000, against you here at $130,000. What a bid? At $130,000. Still here at $130,000 against you, Eduardo, at $130,000. Any more? At $130,000. Fair warning, last chance at $130,000. Not sold at $130,000. And lot number 110 is the charming nativity scene, an early work by one of the most outstanding painters of the Ferrarese High Renaissance, Benvenuto Tizzi, called Garofalo, showing on the screens for you here, this majestic scene. And I'm starting the bidding here, excuse me, at $140,000, at $140,000, $150,000, at $150,000, $160,000, at $160,000, at $160,000, any more, $160,000, at $160,000, at $160,000, $160,000, at $160,000, at $160,000. Against you here too, $160,000. Any more, $160,000, at $160,000, $170,000 now. It's bid online at $170,000. Against you here and selling at $170,000. It's with the bidder online at $170,000. It's here, and I'm going to sell it at $170,000. Still with the online bidder at $170,000. Fair warning now, last chance. Let's go into the online bidder, paddle number 122 for $170,000. Thank you online. That's paddle number 122 at $170,000. Thank you. And lot number 111 is the alluring polychrome terracotta structure of Madonna and Child, circa 1425 to 50, attributed to Lorenzo Ghiberti in the workshop. And I'm going to start the bidding here at 180,000, 200,000 now, 200,000, 220,000, at 220,000 now, 220, 240,000, at 240, at $240,000. Any more? $240,000.
Bidding.
$260,000 with Chris Apostle. It's selling here at 260,000. Against you, Alex, at 260. At $260,000. Still with Chris Apostle at 260, 280,000. Thank you, sir. 280. And with Alex still here in London at 280,000. 300,000 is bid with Chris Apostle again at $300,000 here. It's your bid, sir, at 300. 320,000 at $320,000. Thank you, Alex, at 320,000. 300, say 50 or 40?
With us.
340,000. There it is. Thanks, Chris, at $340,000. It's yours now. Next bid is 60, Alex, at $340,000. Still with Chris in New York at 340,000. 360,000 is bid. Thank you, Alex, at $360,000. At $360,000, $380,000 here. At $380,000. Thank you, Alex. Say one more. $380,000. $400,000. Thank you. At $400,000. Say one more. At $400,000. Alex Cater's bidder here. It's in the London studio at $400,000. $420,000. Thank you, Chris. At $400,000 now. At 420, I should say. It's your bid at 420. I'm looking for one more. At $420,000.
440.
440,000 is bid with Alex at 440. At $440,000. Alex's bid, $460,000. It's back with Chris again in New York at $460,000. Thank you, Chris. At 460, it's your bid now. Say 80, please. At $460,000. No. At $460,000, still with Chris Apostle in New York and against you, Alex, here in London. And I'm going to sell it, fair warning, at $460,000. Thank you, Chris. At $460,000. Paddle number 36. And lot number 112 is the poignant terracotta sculpture of a kneeling Mary Magdalene by Italian early Renaissance sculptor Benedetto de Maino. It's next for the sale. Here it is, showing on your screens. And I want to start the bidding here at $88,000. $88,000, $90,000, $92,000 now at $92,000. At $92,000 anymore, at $92,000. At $92,000. At $92,000. Any more? $92,000. At $92,000. At $92,000. Any more? At $92,000. Fair warning now. Last chance. $92,000. Fair warning for $92,000. It's a pass at $92,000. And the next lot is 113, the poignant early Renaissance polychrome terracotta sculpture of Mary Magdalene by Benedetto di Miano. Here it is, again on the screens for you. And I'm going to start here at 150,000, 160,000, 170,000, now 170,000, 180,000 I have already. It's with the commission bid and I can sell at $180,000. Against you, George, $180,000. 190,000 online. 200,000 is my bid at $200,000. At $200,000, still with me at $200,000. 220,000 clears my bid. It's your bid now. You're coming in, Eduardo, at 220,000. 240,000 is another online bidder at 240,000. 260,000. Battle of the online bidders here. It's paddle number 75 at 260,000. You have it now at $260,000. And against you, Eduardo, and against you, the other 280,000. Thank you, Eduardo, at 280,000. Still with Eduardo at 280,000. It's your bid, sir. And what do you have online, please? At $280,000. Give me 300,000. At $280,000. It's with Eduardo here at 280,000. Still on the telephone at $280,000. Looking for 300,000. It's Eduardo's bidder. Thank you, Eduardo, at 280,000. Still with you. I'm going to sell against you, George, too. Fair warning now. And selling this time. Hammer's coming up. It's with Eduardo's bidder for 280,000. Fair warning for $280,000. Thank you, Eduardo. It's yours. Paddle number 21. Thank you very much indeed. And lot number 114, we move to the Flagellation of Christ by Alessandro Fe, a reduced version of the Florentine Mannerist's famed altarpiece painted in the church of Santa Croce in Florence in 1575, and an important recent addition to the artist's small corpus of works. And the bidding's going to start here At $38,000, at $38,000, $40,000, $42,000 out, $42,000, $45,000, at $45,000, $45,000, $48,000. Thank you, George. It's your bid to start us at $48,000. Yeah, I have you here, George, at $48,000. Thank you. It's your bid, $48,000. With George Wachter at $48,000, and I can sell at $48,000. $50,000 is bid online. Against you, George, at $50,000. Will you give me 5, please? It's online at $50,000 against you, George. 52,000 I'll take, thank you, at 52,000. With George Wachter in New York now, at $52,000. At 52,000, give me 5, please. At $52,000. At $52,000. Still with George Wachter online and against you, in New York and against you online at $52,000. Give me 5 online, please. At $52,000. There it is, with George Wachter at $52,000. Live at Sotheby's in Manhattan, I'm going to sell, this time at $52,000 against you online. Fair warning now, at $52,000. Thank you, George. At panel number 40. Thank you very much indeed. And lot number 115 is next, is the Federico Barocchi. Next, the beautiful work here, one of the most sought-after artists of the late 16th century, forming part of a large group of preparatory works for the artist's celebrated Visitation altarpiece in the Oratorian Church of Santa Maria in Vallicella, also known as Chiesa Nuovo in Rome. This work has been exhibited in the Metropolitan Museum in New York and the National Gallery in London. Wonderful, wonderful work, supreme quality. And I want to start the bidding here at $400,000, at $400,000, $420,000, at $420,000, $450,000, $480,000. Thank you, Eduardo. So your bid at $480,000 and selling at $480. Still with Eduardo at $480,000. Any more at $480? Still with you, sir, at $480,000. $500,000 is bid online. Say 50.
20, please.
I'll take 20. $520,000. Thank you, Eduardo. And it's against you online now at $520,000. With Eduardo, $550,000 is bid. It's back online again. It's paddle number 79 this time at $580,000. It's back with Eduardo again at $580. Say 600, please. $580,000 at $580. Here at $580,000. With Eduardo in the London studio here, bidding on the screens, and $600,000 is bid online again. Paddle number 79 this time at $600,000. And give me 20, Eduardo. At $600,000. You out? At $600,000, it's going to go online. It's your bid, and against you, Eduardo. Thank you so much. Last chance at $600,000. Thank you very much. It's sold. Paddle number 79. Congratulations. And we move on to lot number 116. Of course, here featured next the 2 magnificent canvases by Ferrarese Renaissance artist Dosso Dossi from his famed Aeneas frieze, painted for the Duke Alfonso d'Este. The work once formed part of one of the most influential and famous interiors of the Italian Renaissance. Here they are, the 2 wonderful panels, the pair, both all on canvas. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $2,600,000, at $2,600,000, $2,700,000, $2,800,000 now, $2,800,000, $2,900,000, $3 million now, thank you. At $3 million now, it's with Eduardo at $3 million, $3,200,000 is bid here. I have a commission bid at $3,200,000. At $3,200,000, give me 5, please, Eduardo. $3,200,000. $3,400,000. $3,400,000. $3,500,000 is online. $3,800,000 with my bidder at $3,800,000. Next bid will be 4, please. At $3,800,000, it's still with my commission bidder at $3,800,000 now. And against you, Eduardo, it's my bid at $3,800,000 here. It's with the commission bidder still at $3,800,000.
$4 million.
Sell $4 million. Thank you, George. In a new place, George Wachter's bidding $4 million. $4,200,000, George, is my bid against you now. At $4,200,000, at $4,200,000,
or 5,
$4,500,000, at $4,500,000 now, at $4,500,000. Anyone else? At $4,500,000 here, at $4,500,000, at $4,500,000, at $4,500,000 now, $4,500,000, $4,600,000. It's back with me again, George. At $4,600,000, at $4,600,000. Give me 7, please. At $4,600,000, at $4,600,000. At $4,600,000.
Or 7.
$4,700,000. $4,800,000 is my bid. At $4,800,000 now. Still my bid, George. At $4,800,000. Give me 9, sir. At $4,800,000.
9.
$4,900,000 is your bid. $5 million is my bid. Still with me. My commission bid. At $5 million. I'll take 2 from you, George. At $5 million. It's my commission bid still. Buying the lots at $5 million here. In the book at $5 million here. Do you want to clear the bid? $5,200,000. I'm out, George. It's your bid now at $5,200,000. With George Wachter in New York at $5,200,000. Here for the Dosso Dossi here, the beautiful pair of paintings of $5,200,000. I'm out, George. It's yours at $5,200,000. Any more? $5,200,000. Against you in London here. It's against you in Asia. It's in New York. It's against the book this time. Thank you all for your bids. It's with you, George Wachter. I'm going to sell. Fair warning. At $5,200,000, breaking the record for the artist. It's yours. Thank you, sir. At $5,200,000. Paddle number 38. And lot number 117, we have the work in white marble by the highly original Venetian Baroque sculptor Giovanni Bonazza, dating to circa 1700. These wonderful works in 4, the white marble, mounted in velvet-covered wood block. And I want to start the bidding here at $90,000, at $90,000, $100,000, $110,000, at $110,000, $120,000, at $120,000, at $120,000. Any more? $120,000. At $120,000. $120,000. Margie, you bidding? $130,000. Thank you, Margie. At $130,000. I'm selling to you now. $130,000. At $130,000. Still with you at $130,000. It's Margie's bidder at $130,000. Still with Margie at $130,000. Brad's new bidder. Thank you, sir. At $140,000. Welcome to the party. Thank you, Brad. At $140,000. At $140,000. It's in a new place. $150,000. It's back with Margie again on the front row. Versus the back row there, Brad. Give me a bid of $150,000. $160,000 is bid. Thank you, sir. And thank your bidder at $160,000. At $160,000. And against you, Margie, at $160,000. At $160,000. Give me $70,000.
$161,000.
$161,000. It's your lucky day, Margie. At $161,000, of course, or $161,000. I'll look for 2 from you, please, Brad. At $161,000.
$162,000.
I thought you might say that. At $162,000. Thank you. At $162,000. Margie, what do we say? At $162,000. You out? At $162,000. Thank you, Margie, anyway. For your bidder, at $162,000, still with Brad Bentoff. Breaking the record for the artist once more, breaking records at Sotheby's at $162,000. Congratulations to your client. Fair warning at $162,000. There you go, Brad, it's yours. Paddle number 23, thank you, sir. And please thank your bidder. And lot number 118, this time the exquisite Italian alabaster carving, circa 1700 of the Archangel St. Michael, vanquishing the devil. Really powerful, almost contemporary feeling about this wonderful sculpture. And I want to start the bidding here at $85,000. $85,000, $90,000 now, $90,000, $95,000, at $95,000 now, $95,000. Any more at $95,000? At $95,000. You coming in at $95,000 now. Chris, against you here, at $95,000, $100,000 with Chris Mason at $100,000. Thank you, Chris, at $100,000. It's still with Chris at $100,000 here. Your bid at $100,000, and I can sell at $100,000. Still with Chris. Anybody else at $100,000? And against you, Calvin, at $100,000, $110,000 is bid online. Thank you. At $110,000, I need 20 this time, Chris, from you, please. At $110,000. There it is, at 110. With the online bid at number 60, paddle 60, $120,000. Your bid again at $120,000. Give me 30 online, please. There it is, straight back at $130,000 against you, Chris, this time. It's with the online bidder again at lot number, paddle number 60. Need 140 from you, please, to this fabulous alabaster sculpture. 130. Give it another try at $130,000. At $130,000. Say 40, please. At $130,000. At $130,000, we're selling it. 140 is with another online bidder at $140,000. This time paddle number 21. 150. Back with the online bidders at $150,000. Give me 60, please. At $150,000 here. At $150,000. At $150,000 here. 150. Chris, I assume you're out at this point at $150,000. Yep, that's done at $150,000. Thank you anyway. And it's against the 2 online bidders at $150,000. I'm selling it here for $150,000. Thank you both so much. Paddle number 60 wins it for $150,000. There it goes. Thank you. 150. That's paddle number 60. And lot number 119 is the preparatory sketch in terracotta sculpted by Jean Delcourt for this dramatic over-life-size wood figurine of St. James the Less, commissioned for the Church of Saint-Jacques-le-Mineur in Liège. There it is. Wonderful work here, terracotta. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $25,000, at $25,000, $28,000, $30,000 here, $30,000, at $30,000 now, at $30,000.
Bidding.
At $30,000, $35,000 with Alex at $35,000, still with Alex Cater at $35,000. Your bid, sir, at $35,000. At $35,000 with Alex Cater. And selling, it's against you, George, at $35,000. You want to bid, sir? $35,000 against you, George Gordon. It's here in London.
Bidding.
38. I have ahead of you, George. Just in time here. It's with the online bidder and against you both.
Bidding.
In the Sotheby studios, at 38. $40,000 now with Alex. Thank you, Alex. You clear the online bid.
40,000.
I have already, George. It's on the online bid at $40,000. I need 2 from you or Alex in London, please. It's here at $40,000. 42 is bid again. We have another online bidder. There's 4 of you in it at this time at $42,000. Here it is online at $42,000. Say 5.
Bidding.
At $45,000. This time with Alex Cater in London at $45,000. Thank you, sir. $45,000. It's with Alex Cater at $45,000 at 45. At $45,000. At $45,000. Here at $45,000. $48,000. Thank you, George. At $48,000. At $48,000. $50,000. Thank you. At $50,000. Here at $50,000 with Alex Cater again at $50,000. Thank you. At 50. At $50,000.
Bidding.
52,000. Thank you, George. At 52,000. 55 is going to be at 55,000. Thank you, Alex. At 55,000 now. It's back with Alex again. It's against you online at the moment at $55,000. It's against George. It's against Alex.
Bidding.
58,000. Thank you, George. At 58,000. I have you now. 58. I'm looking for 60, please. At 58,000. 60,000 now. It's back with Alex Cater, head of sculpture in London here at 60,000. Thank you, sir.
Bidding.
65,000. Thank you, George. 65,000. Give me 70, please. 70,000. It's like ping pong across the ocean here. It's 70,000. This time in London. Your alma mater, George, at 70,000 with Alex Cater here from the Sculpture and Works of Art Department at 70,000.
Bidding.
75,000. Thank you, George. At 75,000. Here it is at 75. 80,000 is bid. It's back with Alex again at $80,000. At $80,000. At $80,000 now.
Bidding.
85,000. At $85,000. 90,000. Thank you, Alex, at 90. Give me 5. 95,000. Thank you, George. At $95,000. At $95,000. At $95,000. It's George's bidder.
Right.
Against you, Alex, this time. In New York, George Gordon, for $95,000, and against you here.
You take 96.
I will. We've come this far. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. I'd like to try and take 8 from you, George, if we can. It's at 96,000. It's with Alex Cater here in London.
97,000.
Thank you, George. 97. Message received. Loud and clear at $97,000. Thank you very much. Give me 8, please, at $97,000. George Gordon's bidder.
98.
$98,000. It's just a different means of getting to the same place at $98,000. Give me 9, please.
100,000.
Ah, that's it. 100,000. Thank you, George. At 100,000. Thank you very much indeed. Alex, I think I need 5 from you, please. At 100,000. At $100,000, it's still with George Gordon here. It's in New York at $100,000. Should we sell this time? At $100,000, still with George. Last chance. The hammer's coming up. I'm selling it for $100,000. Thank you, George. Panel number 26. Thank you, George, and thank you, Alex, too, for your client. And lot number 120 is the superb marble relief of Dido, the mythical queen of Carthage, by the Venetian sculptor Aurelio Lombardo. Here it is, the wonderful, wonderful object from Hester's dining room. This fantastic sculpture here, beautiful marble piece. And we're going to start the bidding here At $300,000, at 300,000, 320,000, now at 320,000, 340,000, at 340,000, 350,000 online, at 350,000. It's your bid at 350,000. Any board? 350,000. 360,000 is Eduardo. 370,000 is Chris Apostle. At 370,000 in several places now. At 370,000, 380,000 is bid with Eduardo. Thank you, sir. 380,000. And clearing your bid, Chris, and clearing the bid online at 380,000. I'm selling it here at $380,000 with Eduardo at 380. 390,000. Thank you, Chris. At 390 is your bid this time at 390. Bid. $400,000 now. Eduardo's bidder at $400,000. At 400,000. Can you give me 20 now, Chris? At $400,000. It's back with Eduardo at $400,000. Give me one more at 400,000. 420,000 is bid. Thank you, Chris. At 420,000. At 420,000 against you, Eduardo.
430, please.
430,000. Thank you, sir. At $430,000. At 430. At 430,000. 440,000. Say 50. No. At $440,000. It's with Chris Apostle there. In New York. The incomparable Chris Apostle, here he is at $440,000. It's your bid, sir, and against you, Eduardo. And against you also, Margie, at $440,000. Anybody else here bidding at $440,000? Last chance, and selling for $440,000. Thank you, Chris. There it is, 440. Panel number 22. Thank you. And lot number 121 is the highlight, obviously, of today's wonderful sale from Hester Diamond's collection, the truly beautiful and exceedingly rare sculpture by Gian Lorenzo Bernini and his father Pietro. Works by the artist very rarely appear at auction, with this magnificent marble of autumn, now one of only a handful of pieces by the artist remaining in private hands. And here it is for you at Sotheby's as well, this wonderful, wonderful work. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $7 million now. It's $7 million. $7 million. $7,100,000. That's $7,100,000. $7,200,000. That's $7,200,000. $7,300,000. That's $7,300,000. 7.3. At $7,300,000. $7,400,000. At $7,400,000. At $7,400,000. 7.4. At $7,400,000. That's $7,400,000. Any more? $7,400,000. $7,500,000. Margie, it's your bid. $7,500,000. In New York, it's $7,500,000. And selling at $7,500,000. It's Margie's bidder at $7,500,000. This exquisite object at $7,500,000 here. $7,500,000. Still with you, Margie, at $7,500,000. At $7,500,000 for the Bernini, here it is. It's $7,500,000, establishing a world record at Sotheby's once more. Sotheby's breaking records with our marquee live stream auctions. And again for this piece, from the Hester Diamond collection at $7,500,000. Margie, it's yours. Fair warning to you all. And selling for $7,500,000. Margie, thank you so much at $7,500,000. Panel number 2, thank you very much indeed. Congratulations. And lot number 22, the charming and animated figure of the Christ child attributed to the leading member of the Zorn dynasty of sculptors, Martin Zorn. The child figure here, and in the polychrome lime wood. And I want to start the bidding. Some interest here at 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 17,000, 18,000 I have. It's with a commission bid at 18,000. I can sell at $18,000. At $18,000. Any more at $18,000. It's against you, George, at $18,000. At 18,000. Elizabeth, are you bidding at 18,000, 19,000, 20,000? It's my bid. You say 22, please. It's against you. It's my bid at $20,000. Still mine with a commission bid. 22,000 is George's bid. Thank you, George. 24,000. Just to make sure there's a total lack of clarity. It's my bid still. 24,000. Elizabeth, 26. Say 26,000 is your bid. Thank you, George. Elizabeth, say 26. 28 is my bid. In fact, it's with the commission bid at 28,000. I need 30, please. At 28,000, 30,000 is bid. It's Elizabeth's bid, and I'm out. It's your bid, Elizabeth, at $30,000, and it's not yours, George. Still at $30,000. 32,000. Thank you very much. And against you, Elizabeth, at 32,000. Will you say 5, please? Still with George Wachter at 32,000. 35,000 is Elizabeth's bidder. Thank you. At $35,000. There it is. Thank you, Elizabeth, at 35,000. Give me 8, George, please. 8. 38,000. Thank you, sir. At $38,000. George Wachter's bid at $40,000. It's bid online. It's ahead of you, Elizabeth. $40,000 is with the online bidder. Will you say 2, please? At $40,000. George, Say one more. It's with the online bidder at $40,000. You out? At $40,000, sir. At $40,000, sir. With the online bidder, it's paddle number 60. Thank you for your bids at $40,000. I'm going to sell it. Against you, Elizabeth, are you going on here? Still at $40,000. I'm going to sell to the online bidder at 41,000. Thank you. I'll take that at 41,000. And against you online, give me two, please, online, if you want to continue bidding at 41,000, 42,000. They're going on at 42,000. Thank you so much. At Sotheby's.com at $42,000. At 42,000. Give me three, please, Elizabeth. At 42,000, you out. That's it. Fair warning. And selling this time.
And that's it. 43.
43,000. It's back with Elizabeth again at $43,000. Give me four online at home. At $43,000, still with Elizabeth at $43,000. At $43,000, there it is, with Elizabeth at $43,000. I'm going to sell it at $43,000. Elizabeth's bidder, and against you at $44,000. Thank you so much, at $44,000. Elizabeth, we're going to have to try again at $44,000. At $44,000, give me five, please.
Here's.
At $44,000, here it is, it's online. I'm selling it here.
I'm here.
Last chance, thank you so much, for $44,000. There it goes, number 60 for $44,000. And lot number 123, the first of our contemporary pieces in the sale, a striking depiction of the allegorical figure of envy by celebrated New York-based sculptor Barry versus Ball. Here it is, this fantastic sculpture, the Mexican onyx and stainless steel with pedestal of Macedonian marble. Fantastic range of media. And I want to start the bidding here at $140,000, at $140,000, $150,000, $160,000, at $160,000, $170,000 now, at $170,000, at $170,000, at $170,000. Not yours, Chris, at $170,000. At $170,000. Fair warning now. It's against you, Alex. $180,000. Thank you, Brad. At $180,000. It's with Brad Bentoff at $180,000. Thank you, sir. Still with you at $180,000. Say one more at $180,000. Against you, George Gordon at $180,000. $180,000. $190,000. Thank you, George. $190,000. Delighted to see you bidding on contemporary sculpture, George Gordon. $200,000 there. Thank you, Brad. At $200,000. Several of you in it here at $200,000. George.
I'm sorry?
Give me 20 at $200,000, sir.
Bidding.
220,000. Thank you, sir. 220. It's with George Gordon again at 220,000. It's against you, Brad, this time. 240,000. It's back with Brad again. Thank you, Brad. At 240,000. Say one more, George, at $240,000.
Bidding.
260 is bid at 260,000. Thank you, George, at 260,000. Brad, 280,000. Thank you. At 280,000. Can we say three, George? At $280,000.
300,000.
300,000. There it is. Thank you, George, up front at 300,000. I'm looking for 20, please, Brad, from you at $300,000. Say one more, please. 320,000. Thank you, Brad, at 320,000. I'm looking for 50 this time, George, at 320,000. Sure? At 320. Tell them there's more contemporary sculpture still to come, George, in this wonderful collection. At $320,000. It's with you, Brad.
330,000.
330,000. Thank you very much indeed. I thought you might be back at $330,000. Say 40, Brad, please. At $330,000. Should I have a word, Brad? At $330,000? No? At $330,000. Still with George on the front row and against you, Brad. Last chance, this wonderful sculpture, very rare, good object. Worth recommending at $330,000. It's going to go with George. Last chance now, Brad. Are you out? Fair warning at $330,000. Thank you, George. At $330,000. It's paddle number 26. Thank you. And lot number 124 is the spread forest by Xu Shen, a synthetic tree of rainbow hues. This work epitomizes the provocative artistic practice of the popular contemporary Chinese artist. Here it is, and I can start already with significant interest at 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. $14,000 I have already. It's with the various commission bids. That's the highest. It clears the highest bid so far at $14,000.
16.
14,000. 16,000, Ben.
16.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. 16,000 is Ben Dollar's bidder here. At 16,000, give me 18. Who's bidding? It's 17,000 online now. It's 17,000. I'll take 18. At 18,000, give me 19, Ben. 18,000 is with the commission bid at 18,000. I need 19 from you.
20.
No, 20 ahead of you. It's my bid at $20,000. Give me 2,
20.
please. At $20,000 is my commission bid at $20,000. 22 is bid online, ahead of you there. And clearing my bid at $22,000. Thank you so much. Online. Panel number 88 at $22,000. There it is at $22,000. Still with the online bidder against you, Ben, and against you online at $22,000. The other bid is there online at $22,000 here.
Bidding.
Still with you. $24,000. Thank you, Brad. Welcome to the party at $24,000. At $24,000. Anyone else at $24,000? Still with Brad's client, very determined client at $24,000. George, are we going to come in again at $26,000 here with George Gordon at $26,000? At $26,000. There it is at $26,000 with George, looking for 28. Thank you, Brad, at $28,000. 30,000 is bid ahead of you, George, online. No? Do we have an online bidder? It flashed at 30 for a moment there. Online, will you bid again, please? I'm going to have to take 30 otherwise ahead of you. I'll take 30 now from Brad. Sorry, at 30,000. We had a missed bid online at $30,000. Still with you, Brad, at 30,000. Your client now at $30,000. George, say 2, please. At 30,000.
32.
32,000. You heard the man at 32,000. Thank you, sir. $32,000. 35,000. It's back with Brad again at 35,000. Give me 8, please, George, at $35,000. At $35,000. Give me 8. At 35,000.
38,000.
38,000. Thank you, George. At 38,000. Next bid's 40, please, Brad. At $38,000 here. Here with George Gordon up front. 40,000 is bid again. Thank you, sir. At 40,000. It's with Brad Bentoff again at $40,000. At 40. And looking for 42 from you, George, please. At $40,000. At 40,000.
42.
$42,000 here. Thank you. At 42,000. We're going to have to let you loose on contemporary sales as well, George, at 42,000. 45,000, thank you very much, at 45,000. Back with Brad again on the back row at $45,000. George, what do you have at $45,000? This love of contemporary sculpture, 45.
Bidding.
48,000, thank you, sir, at 48,000. It's George again at 48,000. Against you now, Brad, on the back row at 48,000. 50,000, thank you very much. I'll take 5, George, the next bid at $50,000. Say 5, please. Nope. At $50,000, it's on the back row. At $50,000, still with Brad, and against you, George. It's Brad's client. I'm going to let it go now at $50,000. Brad, it's going to be yours at $50,000. Go into a prominent, distinguished home. Thank you so much to your client at $50,000. There it goes. Thank you, Brad. Congratulations, and thank you, George. Panel number 23 with Brad Bentoff. Thank you very much. Thank you to your client, please. Lot number 125 is the hauntingly beautiful devotional work, The Penitent Mary Magdalene Adoring the True Cross in a Rocky Landscape by Filippino Lippi, datable to the late 1470s. And I'm starting the bidding at $800,000, 800,000, 850,000, 900,000, out 900,000, $950,000, at $950,000, at $950,000, at $950,000. At $950,000. Any more? $950,000. At $950,000. At $950,000. Fair warning now. $950,000. At $950,000. Last chance now. Fair warning. At $950,000. Is a pass at $950,000. And we move to lot number 126, the impressive polychrome limewood carving of the late German Gothic tradition depicting the Virgin and Child with St. Anne. Ably shown on your screens, of course. There it is. Are we showing the right image on screen? No, we're showing the image of 127 on screen at the moment. That's the wrong image, but we are going to get the right image for you. For 126, the master of the Schöngauer Autoken in Germany. 126, I'm going to start the bidding here at $120,000. At 120,000, 140,000, at 140,000, 160,000, at $160,000, at 160,000 for lot number 126. 180,000. Thank you, Chris. At $180,000, at $180,000, at $180,000. Chris's bid and Elizabeth's bid, 2 at $200,000. Thank you, Elizabeth. In a new place, it's your bid at $200,000. I need 20 from you, Chris, please. $220,000. At $220,000. At $220,000. $240,000. Thank you, Elizabeth, at $240,000. At $240,000. At $260,000. Thank you so much. At $260,000 with Chris now, $260,000. There it is at $260,000.
Bidding.
$280,000. It's in a new place. There are 3 of you here. I have it with Alex Cater in London. Next bid's going to be $300,000. $300,000 with Chris. Against you, Elizabeth, and against you, Alex. $320,000. Thank you, Alex, at $320,000. Can you give me 50 in New York at $320,000? It's here in London with Alex Cater, $350 with Chris now. At $350,000.
Bidding.
$380,000. At $380,000.
Bidding.
$400,000. At $400,000. $420,000. Alex's bid, $420,000.
Bidding.
$450,000. $480,000. $480,000. There it is, $480,000. No? At $480,000, still with Alex Cater here, at $480,000, it's Alex's bid. You're definitely out. Elizabeth, do you want to bid? At $480,000, you out too? At $480,000, thank you anyway. I'm selling it here. Alex's bid at $480,000. Thank you, Alex, at $480,000. Panel number 8. And we move on to lot number 127. The next work by the late 15th century gilt and painted wood carving, St. George and the Dragon this time round. That's it. That's the correct image showing for you on the screens as well. There it is. And I want to start the bidding here. Some interest at $12,000. $12,000, $14,000, $16,000 now at $16,000. At $16,000. Any more? $16,000. At $16,000. $18,000. It's Calvin's bid. It's a ton of you bidding now. It's Calvin I took first at $18,000. At $18,000 now. Bidding. At $18,000. $20,000 here in London at $20,000 here. It's ahead of you, Calvin, at $20,000. It's in the London studio at $20,000 now. At $20,000 here. $20,000. Any more at $20,000? You want to say more, Calvin? At $20,000. 25. I'll take 22 from you. Thank you very much. Margie's bidder at $22,000. At $22,000. Any more? 22. 24,000 here in London again at 24,000. At $24,000 here. At $24,000. At $24,000. 26,000 is Margie's bidder at $26,000. At $26,000 here. At $26,000. I'll take 30. Who gave me 30? Can you put your hand up? 30,000 in London. Thank you very much indeed. At $30,000. At 30,000. There it is. At 30 is Alex's bid at $30,000. In London at $30,000 here. At $30,000. At 30,000.
31, sir.
30. I'll take 31 from you. At 31,000.
Thank you.
At 31,000. Thank you very much. Elizabeth, are you bidding? You saying 32?
32.
32,000. I'll take it from Elizabeth in New York at 32,000. At 32,000. Here it is. Elizabeth in New York at 32,000. At 32,000. Still with Elizabeth at 32,000. It's your bid there at $32,000. Any more at 32,000? Okay, talk to me, please. 32, 33,000. At 33,000. There it is. $33,000. Alex's bid at 33,000. Any more at $33,000? 34,000. Elizabeth's bidder again at 34,000. At $34,000. Thank you so much. At 34,000. Elizabeth's bid. Alex, what have you got? $34,000 now. At 34,000. Any more? At 34,000. It's with Elizabeth. It's in New York, and I can sell it here. It's against you, Margie. Do you want to go on at $34,000? Any more? It's Elizabeth's bid. There you are, Elizabeth. At 34,000, still with you and selling, fair warning, at $34,000. Thank you very much indeed. 34,000. Panel number 7. And we're going to move on, moving forward to an exceptional gilt and polychrome limewood relief. The Domination of the Virgin, attributed to the master German carver Jörg Lederer and his workshop. Here it is, number 128. And I want to start the bidding here at $100,000, at $100,000, $120,000, $140,000, $140,000, $160,000 now, $160,000, at $160,000, at $160,000. Give me another, $160,000. At $160,000. Any more? $170,000 with Alex Bell at $170,000. I can see you there, Alex, at $170,000. At 170,000. Thank you, Alex. At 170. It's still with Alex Bell at $170,000. It's your bid, sir. At 170,000, I can sell at 170. And against the rest of you there at 170,000. Alex, you're bidding at 170,000. Yes, it worked momentarily there at 170. At 170, it worked momentarily at 170,000. Still with Alex at 170. Your bid, sir, and I'm going to sell it at $170,000. Alex, it's your bid, correct? And selling. Alex Cater, are you coming in here in London? At 170,000. Is that a bid, sir? No? I'm going to sell it here to Alex Bell in New York at $170,000. Fair warning, at $170,000. Thank you, Alex. That's yours at 170,000. Yep, that's number 16. Okay. Yes, I can. Thank you. Yes, let's keep going until 129. Yeah, can you say it one more time, please? Georgia, one more time. Yes, absolutely. Let's continue then to 129. Keeping with Jörg Lederer, whose works very rarely appear at auction, we have a gilt and polychrome linewood carving depicting Saint Sebastian, partially naked in a contorted pose, dating to around 1515 to 1520. The wonderful work here. Please note that the expanded provenance for the lot is available in the online catalogue. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $390,000. At 390,000, 400,000 out, 400,000, 410,000, at $410,000. At $410,000. Alex, you're bidding at $410,000. 420,000. At $420,000. Okay, 420,000 with you, Alex, and selling at 420,000. At 420,000. At 420,000. Thank you so much. At 420,000, I can sell at 420,000. At 420,000, still with you, Alex. The hammer is up. And against you, Alex Cader, I'm going to sell it at 420,000. Fair warning, at $420,000. Thank you so much. Number 16 at 420,000. Thank you, Georgia. I heard that perfectly. Thank you very much indeed. At 130, next is the Dustin Yellin. The Psychogeography Study number 9, Empathy and Entropy, an emblematic example of the artist's body of work devoted to three-dimensional photomontage. Showing on the screens for you here, this extraordinary object. The artist born in 1975. And I want to start the bidding here. Some interest at 18,000, 20,000, 22,000, 26,000, 28,000, 30,000, 32,000 I have. It's in the book with a commission bid. Several commission bidders at $32,000. Still my bidder at $32,000. 35,000, 38,000. I see you online as well. Still my bidder at 38,000. Give me 40, please. 38,000. 40,000 is back with Julian. There's plenty of you here. 45,000 is my bid. Give me 50. At 45,000, give me 50 is the next bid. It's still my commission bid at 45. 50,000 with Chris at $50,000 here. It's against you online. It's in the middle of the room there at 50,000. At 50,000, 55,000 is bid online now. With paddle number 88 at $55,000. There it is. 60,000 with Julian in London now at 60,000. Thank you, Julian, at $60,000. At 60,000, 65,000. It's back online again at $65,000. Thank you so much. Give me 70 in New York at 65,000 online. 70,000, Julian, I have you, sir, in London at 70,000. Thank you so much. It's $70,000. 75,000 is bid. Here online at 75,000. Sotheby's.com at 75,000. $80,000 there. 80,000. And I don't want to forget you, Brad, and your VIP there at $80,000 here. Give me one more. $80,000. Say 5, please. At $80,000 anymore. 85,000. Liz is in at 85. Ahead of you online. I took it from Liz in New York. Thank you, Liz. At $85,000. Give me 90, please. At $85,000. At $85,000. At $85,000 now. At $85,000. 90,000. Thank you, sir. It's ahead of you online, I'm afraid, as well. Still with Alex Faber there in New York at $90,000. Thank you, Alex, at 90,000. And against you, Liz, and against you online, against you, Brad, as well. 95,000. That's your bid online at 95,000. Julian Gascon, do you want to bid at $95,000? Say one more, sir, at $95,000. At 95,000. It's still online. It's against you, Liz, against you, Julian, against you, Brad, and Alex Faber. I'm selling it here at $95,000. Alex, give me 100,000. 100,000. Thank you, Brad. I thought you might arrive at the party at $100,000, just in time as ever. Thank you, sir. At 100,000. 110,000 in a new place at Marlena's bid at 110,000. Thank you very much. In a new place at 110,000. It's your bid, Marlena, at 110,000. Thank you so much, 110. And Brad, give me 20. Sorry, it's Molly's bid. I'm so sorry, Molly. I do apologise. At $110,000. I see you now. $110,000. Thank you very much. At $110,000, give me 20, please. At $110,000. At $110,000, still with Molly at $110,000. Brad, what do we have? $110,000. Give me 20. At $110,000, give me one more bit. At 110. At $110,000 and selling. Fair warning, at $110,000. Molly's bidder, last chance for 110.
115.
115. Thank you, Brad. The art of the late bid. Thank you very much. Very experienced client you must have on the telephone at 120,000. Thank you, Molly. At 120,000. Here it is at $120,000. It's Molly's bid, and against you, Brad, this time at 120. Give me 5. At 120,000, still with Molly's bid, at either side of the back row there, bookending the back row, there it is, at $120,000. I'm going to sell it, $120,000, fair warning now. Last chance, Brad, it's Molly's bid and selling. The hammer is up for $120,000. Thank you, Molly, that's very kind. 120, can I see your paddle, please? Paddle number 6, thank you very much indeed. Lot number 131 is the group of polychrome linderwood and pine carvings of exceptional sculptural quality, datable to the penultimate decade of the 15th century. It was probably made in Nuremberg within the orbit of the influential painter Michael Wohlgemuth, who was the master of Albrecht Dürer. Here they are, pair of sculptures showing on screen, and starting the bidding here at $82,000, $82,000, $85,000 now, $85,000, $88,000 now, at $88,000, at $88,000 now, $88,000. At $88,000. Any more? $88,000. At $88,000. At $88,000. Fair warning now. Last chance. Against you, Margie. Want a bid? At $88,000. Give me a bid now. Fair warning for $88,000. It's a pass at $88,000. And lot number 132, we have one of the earliest known works by Martin van Heemskerk, one of the most important and innovative northern mannerists of the 16th century. And I want to start the bidding here at $220,000, $220,000, at $220,000, $240,000 now, $240,000, $240. At $240,000, $260,000, at $260,000, at $260,000 now, at $260. At $260,000. Any more? $260,000. At $260,000. $280,000. Thank you, George. At $280,000. It's your bid at $280,000. It's with George Gordon at $280 now. It's your bid, George, and get a sell. Fair warning now. It's with George again. Last chance at $280,000. Thank you, George. At $280. Can I see your paddle, please? 26, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And lot number 133 is the striking honor panel of St. Jerome in his study, one of the finest examples of the master of the Little Adoration. This wonderful depiction of the subject here, famous subject, active in Antwerp between 1510 and 1530. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $100,000, $110,000, $120,000, now $120,000, at $120,000, $130,000, at $130,000. At $130,000 against you, Chris, at $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, fair warning now, last chance, fair warning at $130,000. Pass at $130,000. And lot number 134 is the fine alabaster carving by Leonhard Kern, an early work from the German sculptor's career dating to circa 1614 to 1620. The Lamentation. And the bidding will start here at $100,000, $120,000, $120,000, $140,000, at $140,000, $160,000 now, $160,000, at $160,000, at $160,000. Any more? $160,000. $170,000. It's bid online at $170. It's ahead of you, Margie. I took the online bid. $180 I have already, George, against you. It's 2 online bidders. One started at $190, Margie. Thank you. It's your bid now, live in New York. $200,000 is bid online. And against you, George, against you, Margie, and the third online bidder, second online bidder at 200,000. 210,000. Thank you, Margie. So your bid now at 210,000 in New York at 210. At $210,000 here at 210. 220,000 is bid at $220,000. At $220,000. Online again, 230. It's ladies first, George, I'm afraid. Margie's bid at 230. At exactly the same time, 240 splits you again at 240, 250. Thank you. It's with Chris's bid. Patience is a virtue at 250. 260 ahead of you now already. It's with the online bidder at 260,000. Give me 70, please. At $260,000.
70.
270. Thank you, Margie. At 270,000. It's your bid now, 270. At 270,000. 280. Thank you, Chris. At 280,000. 300,000. Online at $300,000 now. With paddle number 55. Would you give me 20, please, Margie? At $300,000. 320,000. Thank you, Chris. At 320. At 320,000. You're going to go online at $320,000. At 320,000. No? It's still with Chris Apostle at 320,000. I'm going to sell it. Fair warning now. 320,000. 340 is bid. Online, Chris, against you this time. At $340,000. It's with the online bidder. I'm going to sell it at 340,000. Fair warning.
350, sir.
350. Thank you, Chris. At 350,000. At $350,000. At 350. 360 now. It's with the online bidder again. Paddle number 55 at 360,000. Here it is at 360. At $360,000. Moggy, we're going to go on. At 360,000, it's online. Against you, Chris. Are you out, sir? Fair warning, I'm going to sell for $360,000. Chris,
Bidding.
370. Thank you, Chris. 380. Nope. At 380,000, still online. Thank you, Chris. That's your bidder. Selling now at $380,000. Thank you very much indeed. It's paddle number 55. Thank you. And we move on to lot number 135, the German Rococo stand carved with dragons, shellwork, and a cornucopia out of pear wood with a modern pink marble top. And I want to start here at $16,000, $18,000, $20,000, $22,000. At $22,000. At $22,000. Any more? $22,000. At $22,000. At $22,000. Last chance. Fair warning. At $24,000 is bid online. Thank you. At $24,000. Selling online. Paddle number 67. Last chance. And selling for $24,000. Thank you. It's $24,000. It's paddle 67. And lot number 136 is the St. Martin and the Beggar, a limewood sculpture, very much of the Donau tradition of the late 15th century, southern Germany. Here it is. Thank you very much. And I'm starting the bidding here at $30,000, $32,000, $34,000 out, $34,000, at $34,000. Any more? $34,000. At $34,000. At $34,000. At $34,000. At $34,000. Fair warning now. Last chance. At $34,000. It's a pass at $34,000. And lot number 137, the beautifully carved and moving figure of the kneeling Christ, attributed to the important German Mannerist sculptor Hans Degler, showing on the screens here. And I'm starting here at $14,000, $16,000, $18,000 out, $18,000 now, $18,000, $20,000, at $20,000, at $20,000, any more, $20,000. At $20,000. At $20,000 here. Against you, Liz. At $20,000. At $22,000. Thank you, Liz. At $22,000. Your bid at $22,000. It's with Liz in New York at $22,000, and I can sell your bid for $22,000. Fair warning. Last chance here for $22,000. Thank you, Liz. Sold. It's yours at $22,000. I see your paddle, please. Paddle number 1. Thank you very much indeed. And lot number 138 is the fascinating late 15th century triptych, which combines elements of Byzantine and Italian style and iconography, a work typical of its creator, Nicolaos Zafoudis. There it is. Wonderful work in 3 parts. Active in Crete, at the end of the late 15th century. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $80,000, $80,000, $90,000 now, at $90,000, at $90,000, $100,000, at $100,000, at $100,000 now, $100,000, at $100,000, any more, $100,000, at $100,000, $110,000 is bid online at $110,000 against you, Calvin. It's selling here at $110,000 to the online bidder, at paddle number 115 at $110,000. I'm going to sell it. It's ahead of you, Calvin. Fair warning. It's with the online bidder and selling. Last chance for $110,000. Thank you, online. That's 110. Paddle 115. And 139 is the exceptionally beautiful altarpiece by Florentine artist Jacopo di Cioni, dated to the second half of the 14th century. Wonderful sculpture here. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $90,000, at $90,000, $100,000, $110,000 now, $110,000, $120,000, at $120,000, $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000, $140,000, at $140,000, $150,000 with George Wachter. Thank you, George. I can sell it to you at $150,000 with George Wachter at $150,000. And selling, it's your bid, sir, at $150,000. Thank you, George. Fair warning to all of you. Last chance at $150,000. Thank you, George. This is paddle number 40 for $150,000. And lot number 140 is next. Is the poignant figure of the Marta Dolorosa by Alonso Berruguetti, probably created for the main altar of the Chapel of Salvador in Ubita, and the only extant original carving from that altar that survived the Spanish Civil War. Here it is. And I'm going to start the bidding here at $100,000, $110,000, $120,000 now, $120,000, at $120,000, $130,000, at $130,000, $130,000. At $130,000 now, at $130,000. Any more? $130,000. At $130,000. At $130,000. Gets you there. $130,000. Give me one more. $140,000 is bid. Thank you, Alex. At $140,000. It's your bid here. $140,000. And selling with Alex Cader in the London studio. There you are, sir. At $140,000. I can sell it to you. Fair warning against you, Julian, for $140,000. Fair warning at $140,000. Thank you, Alex. It's paddle number 8 for 140. Thank you. And 141 is the beautiful linewood Madonna on a crescent moon, attributed to the circle of Veit Stoss, one of the most gifted and influential wood carvers of the medieval period. There it is. And I start at $110,000, $120,000, $130,000 now, $130,000, $140,000 at $140,000. $140,000. At $140,000. At $140,000. Any more? $140,000. At $140,000. You're bidding, Elizabeth, at $140,000. Say $150,000. At $140,000. Say another. At $140,000. Last chance now. You out? At $140,000. Give me one more bid. $140,000. Alex, you're going to bid at $140,000. Fair warning now to you both. At $140,000. I'll take 5, Elizabeth. You want to sell? At $145,000. Give me one more. At $140,000. No. And fair warning for $140,000. It's a pass at $140,000. Okay, and we start the next lot. Number 142 is the dynamic South German Bottetti or terracotta sketch dating to circa 1700. And I'm starting the bid here at $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. It's $7,000. Against you, Alex Cader, at $7,000 now. It's $7,000. At $7,000 here. At $7,000.
Bidding.
$8,000. $10,000 is my bid, Alex. Give me one more. $10,000 now. At $10,000, still my bidder with a commission bid at $10,000. $12,000. $15,000. At $15,000 now. Say 18. At $15,000. At $15,000, say one more, at $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 is my bid still, at $20,000. At $20,000, say 22. At $20,000, still mine, at $20,000. Say one more, at $20,000. At $20,000, my bid. 22 is my bid. I'll take 25 for you, please. At $22,000 is my bid still. Say 25. At 22,000 is my bid, Alex. 25, 27,000 is my bid, still with a commission bid at $27,000. At $27,000 here. At $27,000, still my bidder at $27,000 with a commission bid. 28, you've cleared me, I'm out. It's your bid at $28,000 here with Alex. At $28,000. At $28,000, still with Alex Cater. 30,000 is bid online now against you, Alex, with a new bidder at $30,000. At 30,000, 32,000 with Alex here at 32,000. Say 5 online, please. 35,000 is bid online. At 35,000, still with the online bidder at 35,000. Give me 8, 38,000. It's with Alex Cater again at 38,000. You need to say 40 online. There it is at 40,000. Thank you online at 40,000. Say 2 at $40,000, Alex. Not you, 42,000 with Alex Cater again at 42,000. At $42,000. 45 is bid online. At 45,000. At $45,000. 48,000. At $48,000. 50,000. At 50,000. You say 5. At $50,000.
2.
52,000. Next bid's 5 online, please. 55,000. 58,000. Thank you. At 58,000. 58,000. 60,000. Bid online again at 60. Here it is. It's $60,000. That's 60,000.
62.
62,000. Thank you. At 62,000. It's back with Alex again at 62,000. Say 5 online, please. 62,000. Still with Alex here in London. At 62,000. Against you online at Sotheby's.com. 65,000 is bid. And against you, Alex, here at 65,000. It's with the online bidder at 65,000. Give me 8. 68,000 now. It's back with Alex Cater again. Head of sculpture in London here, in Europe at 68,000. Give me 70 online, please. At $68,000. $68,000. Still with you, Alex. And selling here. I'm going to let it go at 70,000. It's bid against you again at $70,000. At 70,000. Any more? $70,000. 70,000. Thank you. 72,000. Thank you very much. At $72,000. Against you online again. It's 72,000. Say 5. At $72,000. It's with Alex Cater, live at Sotheby's. He's in London this time at $72,000 and selling, fair warning, for 75,000. Just too soon, Alex, I'm afraid. At 75,000 now. At $75,000. $75,000.
Do 76.
76,000. Yep. And I'll take 7 from you online if you prefer. At $76,000. There at $76,000. Any more at 76? Want to say 7? 77,000. Thank you so much. It's online again at $77,000. Do you want to say 8 at 77,000?
78.
78,000 with Alex at 78,000 now. Thank you so much. At $78,000. And looking for 79 online. It's still at 78,000. It's with Alex at 78, and I can sell, of course, at $78,000. Fair warning. I'm going to sell it. Last chance at $78,000. Thank you, Alex. It's 78,000, and thank you online as well. It's paddle number 42. Thank you so much. Lot number 143 is the spectacular terracotta sculpture depicting the triumph of David over Goliath by Giuseppe Maria Mazza. Here it is, active in Bologna, the terracotta. And I want to start the bidding here at 140,000, 150,000, 160,000, 160,000, $170,000. At 170,000. It gets you here, $170,000. At 170, 180,000. It's Calvin's bidder. Thank you, Calvin, at 180. With you at $180,000. It's Calvin's bidder and selling at 180,000. Against you, George Wachter, at 180,000. Give me 90. At $180,000.
190.
190. Thank you, George, in a new place at $190,000. At $200,000. Thank you, Calvin, at $200,000. I have you here at $200,000. George, can you give me 20? At $200,000. Still with Calvi Spitter at 200,000. It's against you here. At 200,000. Against you, Julian, too. In London at $200,000. You going to go on, George? Still with Calvin's. 220,000. Thank you, sir. At 220. At $220,000. Calvin, say one more. 240,000. Thank you, Calvin. At $240,000. At $240,000. And looking for 60, George, from you. At $240,000. At 240,000. Say one more. At 250,000. Calvin, give me 60.
$255.
255, thank you. Try 60, George. At 255,000.
260.
260, thank you. At 260. At $260,000.
280.
280. Yes, you're saying 280. Thank you very much indeed. At 280,000. George.
90.
290,000. Calvin, give me 300,000, please. 300,000.
300.
Thank you so much. It's Calvin Spitter at 300,000. 310,000. 310. 320,000. At 320. George, can you say 30?
30.
330,000. Calvin, say one more. At 330.
340.
340,000. At $340,000.
350.
350,000. At 350,000. Thank you so much. Give me 60. At $350,000. And looking for 360 from you, please. This distinguished work from Hester Diamond's collection, this wonderful object.
360.
360,000. Thank you, Calvin, at 360,000. George, give me 70.
70.
370, there it is, at 370. At $370,000. Calvin, not yours, at 370. At $370,000. No, at $370,000. With George here, I'm going to sell. Last chance at $370,000. Thank you, George. It's yours at 370. Panel number 25. Thank you, New York. Thank you, George. And we go on to lot number 144. This is the colourful canvas by the Dutch mannerist Joachim Titval. There it is. The Teval, the Adoration of the Shepherds. And I'm going to start the bidding here at 400,000, 450,000, 500,000, out 500,000, 550,000, at $550,000, at 550,000. Any more? $550,000, at $550,000, at $550,000. Against you there, $550,000, at $550,000. Against you, Alex, at 550, at 550,000. Fair warning now, last chance, 550. Last chance for you for $550,000. It's a pass at 550. And 145 is the dramatic depiction on slate of the Deposition of Christ, a late work by Venetian painter Jacopo Bassano. Here it is, the fantastic work, thank you. And I'm going to start the bidding here at 220,000, 230,000, 240,000, out $240,000, at $240,000. At $240,000. Any more? 240. At $240,000. At 240. At $240,000. At $240,000. Fair warning now. Last chance at $240,000. Any more? At $240,000. Not sold at $240,000. At 146, we have the terracotta relief, The Lamentation by Giuseppe and Bartolomeo Mazzuoli, one of the largest terracotta sculptures known by the Mazzuoli family, showing here on the screens for you. And we're going to start the bidding here at 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, 110,000 now, 110,000, 110,000,
120.
120,000. Thank you, Margie. It's your bidder at 120,000. And I can sell at $120,000. Still Margie's bidder at $120,000, with you at $120,000, at $120,000, sir. It's Margie's bidder at $120,000, at $120,000, at $120,000. Still with Margie at $120,000. It's yours at $120,000, and I can sell it at $120,000. Fair warning, $130,000. It's bid online, Margie, at $130,000, at $130,000, at $130,000. 130,000. You want to say 40? It's with the online bidder at $130,000. Still with you at 130,000. Still with you? No, at 130,000 with the online bidder. Fair warning now. I'm going to sell it at 130. You out, Margie? Just checking. No. It's with my online bidder here, number 15, for $130,000. There it is, paddle number 15 for $130,000. And 147 is the next one, leading towards the last lots of today's sales. The striking wrought iron eagle, circa 1700 to 1725. Showing on the screens, here it is. And we're going to start here at 26,000, 27,000 now, $27,000 at 27,000 for this eagle. Wonderful thing at $27,000. At $27,000. At 27,000. Any more? $27,000. 27,000. Last chance. Fair warning at $27,000. It's passed at 27,000. And 148 is the penultimate lot of today's sale, an accomplished carving in the early Rococo style by Matthias Bernhard Braun. There it is. And I want to start here at $24,000, $26,000, $28,000 now, $28,000. At $28,000 now. $28,000.
Bidding, sir.
30,000. Thank you. It's Julian's bid at 30,000. It's selling here.
32.
32,000. It's Margie's bidder now in a new place at $32,000. At 32 and against you, Julian, at $32,000. At 32,000. Still with Margie at $32,000. At $32,000. Still with Margie at 32 and against you, Julian, not yours. Sure. It's here at $32,000. You sure? At 32,000. You out, sir? Here it is. It's Margie's bid. Thank you, Margie. And selling for $32,000. There it is. 32,000. Thank you.
Paddle 34.
Paddle 34. Perfect. And the last lot is, of course, the color video diptych on 2 plasma displays by the esteemed contemporary video artist Bill Viola. The ablutions from 2005 belonging to Viola's renowned 7-part purification series, and accompanied by a certificate of authenticity signed by the artist and dated 20th of September 2006. Showing on the screens here for you. And I'm going to start the bidding here at 60,000, 62,000, 65,000, 68,000, 70,000 I have. It's with the commission bid. And selling at $70,000. Against you, Liz, here at 70,000. Give me one more. It's $70,000. 75,000, 80,000 is my bid. Give me 5, please. 80,000 is still my bidder at $80,000. Against you, Molly, too, at 80,000. 85,000, 90,000 is my bid. Still 90,000, still with the commission bidder. At $90,000. Want to give me 5 at $90,000?
Bidding.
95,000. It's in a new place. 100,000. It's mine. Against you both. Against you, Liz. Against you, Molly. It's at 100,000. Next bid's going to be 5. At $100,000. Give me 5. 105,000. Here, $100,000. It's with the commission bid. I'll take 5 from you. I'll take 10 from me because it's already with the commission bid. I need 15 from you, please. It's at $110,000. Still with my bidder at 110. At $110,000. Give me 15, please. This last lot in the Hester Diamond collection, the esteemed collection, the fearless collection.
Bidding,
Hester Diamond, 115,000. Thank you, Molly. You've cleared my bid now. I'm out. It's your bid at $115,000. And we're selling it here, the last lot, at $115,000. Liz will be coming in again at $115,000. Fair warning to you all. It's Molly's bidder. I'm going to sell for the last lot. Thank you all for $115,000. Thank you, Molly. It's yours. $115,000. Congratulations. Sure. Can I see your paddle, please? It's paddle number 37. Thank you very, very much to you all for joining us today to witness the sale of Hester Diamond's extraordinary collection, which I hope you will agree has been a more than fitting tribute to the life and career of this fearless and visionary collector. Part 2 of the sale is still open for bidding online at Sotheby's.com until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So please do go and take a look now. And beyond that, our next live stream sale will take place here in London, beaming to the world, live stream across the planet on the 25th of March, offering impressionist, modern and contemporary art, in addition to old masters. And we very much look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah, of course I know her.
Everyone thinks she's so interesting.
She just has too much style. She just has too much everything.
Mai troppo. She's a pleasure. Mai troppo.
She's everything.
She's too funny.